I want to do this. I want to take this moment right now to introduce our very first speaker here tonight on our ACN call, which I just want to say happy anniversary to ACN. We are celebrating 30 years this month. January of 1993, this company was founded. I was 2 years old when this company was founded. But listen, the gentleman I'm going to introduce, he's a senior vice president in ACN. He has reached the pinnacle position in our company. He's the mentor of all mentors. I'm grateful and honored that I can call him a personal friend of mine. He is absolutely charming in every way. He's so relatable, so humble, loves to lead from the front, an absolute example for each and every single one of us. He's an ACN influencer as well. So with that, I'm going to turn the Zoom call over now to Senior Vice President, Mr. Patrick Mazer.
Wow, great to be a part of tonight. 30 years in the making. Welcome to ACN. For all of the guests, to all the people that might be taking a look at us for a first time, I just want to be the first one to welcome you out. This is our 30th year kickoff, our new year celebration, if you will. Melissa, who did a great job introducing me, you're going to get a chance to hear her testimonial a little later, and you'll be blown away. And over 20 years ago, I came to an ACN presentation, just like you're looking at here today. I wish Zoom was invented 20 years ago. It would have saved me a lot of time and effort and energy. And as you can only imagine, all the traveling that I had to do over the 20 plus years. But I, like you, was looking for something more. And I knew 9 to 5 wasn't going to be an answer to my prayers. I knew I financially couldn't get to where I wanted to go or even have the freedom of where I wanted to go without owning my own business. The challenge I had, I'm sure some of you can relate, was always capital. Every time I looked at a business, it was tens of thousands, hundreds of thousands of dollars. And just financially, I couldn't afford that type of opportunity. But when ACN was presented to me, just like you're going to hear tonight, it checked a couple boxes off. Number one, business ownership. How many of us just like the concept of working for ourselves, right? The flexibility, the freedom. Number two, mentorship. How many of us would agree if you do something, you need a coach, right? You need a system. You need something to plug into so that you can just, go along and have as much success as you want to have. But number three is the unique way we get paid, which is residual income. And prior to this presentation, I never even heard of residual income. After hearing the presentation, I didn't want to make money any other way. Now, 20 plus years later, I'm completely ruined. The only way I want to make money is through residual income. And you're going to get a chance to see that for yourself here tonight. Now, ACN is no stranger to success. Matter of fact, experts are calling our company the Amazon of services. And what we do is very unique in nature. We connect customers and services together. And we do that around the world, not just in the United States, but we have 27 other countries we're currently having success in, and more to come here in the future. Now, just so we're able to talk about ACN here together, I wanted to share my screen here so you can get a chance to evaluate ACN here as an organization. Now, the first thing I just want to let you know that, look, if you don't do anything, you're probably not going to make any money in ACN. So just understand that we all have to put work and effort into this in order for it to work for you like it's worked for me and tens of thousands of other people. So the good news is it's working around the world, but you just want to make sure you put the effort and energy in to make sure that this can work for you like it does for me. Now, when I looked at ACN, the first thing I saw was they were a well-established company. Matter of fact, they specialize in acquiring customers, and they've been doing it since 1993. As mentioned earlier, 27 countries strong, millions of customers acquired, billions and billions of dollars in sales already, and we've already gotten major awards from companies all over the world, different publications talking about our success. Here's what made me say yes to this business. Is that I could not argue with the services that we were taking to market. See, I had a wireless phone. How about you? And when they talked about companies like AT&T and companies like Spectrum and DirecTV and Dish Network, they spent billions of dollars letting you know who they are. And now you have your very own online store to help both residential and business customers when it comes to these services. Services like energy, services like healthcare, services like home security or credit card processing or travel or identity theft protection. And again, when you take a look at our portfolio, this happens to be in the United States, but I know we have an opportunity here in Canada where you're going to see some companies that if you're from Canada, you're going to know who TELUS is, you're going to know who these companies are, because these are major brands in the Canadian marketplace. So don't look at this just as a United States opportunity, but a global opportunity that you and I could take advantage of. Now we go direct to consumer, and this allows for customers to have more choices, but more importantly, an opportunity for people like us to create income. Now, when I sat in the presentation and they told me it was $2.99 to get started, I immediately got excited because I knew I was in the right presentation. I had $2.99 in my pocket, and the only additional cost was $25 a month for your very own personalized online store. Now, just to give you a visual what an online store looks like, here's what we're going to create for you. You can have this store tonight. Matter of fact, if you get started tonight, this store will be made available for you. And now you can take people right to this online store. You can see how Melissa has her picture and her name and her logo and her phone number. But let's say somebody's looking for internet. You're going to notice the companies that we offer are brand name companies, meaning I don't have to explain to anybody who these companies are. And the opportunity for a customer to go to one website to shop all these different services and to be able to do it not just here in the United States, but we can do it in 27 countries around the world. Now, as you can imagine, most of us, when we look at websites and see how professionally done it has been done, we think thousands of dollars for that to happen. And remember, I paid $2.99 one time, and my only additional cost is $25 a month. Now, let me talk a little bit about how we make money. And this is the part I want you to listen closely to, because ACN is doing something incredibly exciting. As services are acquired, bonuses are paid. And remember, services just mean bills. So when I first got involved, I walked into my mom and I said, hey, would you support me? I got in a new business and just seeing if there's a couple services that you'd be open to trying. And she signed up for a couple services. I signed up for a couple services, some friends, some family members. And immediately they started sending me these bonus money. Now, bonus money, it comes in when services are acquired, and we pay that weekly. But imagine this. Imagine every time your customer gets a healthcare bill, an internet bill, a cell phone bill, an electric bill, a gas bill, you're getting paid a percentage of the bill, anywhere from 3% all the way to 20% of somebody's bill. Now, we can show you how to go from 3% to 10% to 20%. It's really simple to go do, but once you're at 20%, imagine making 20% over all your customers that you were able to acquire through your online store. Now, in my case, over 20 years ago, I acquired some of these customers, and 20 years later, guess what they're doing? Paying their bill. And every month, whether I'm talking to you or laying on the beach or swinging a golf club, everybody pays their bills. Doesn't matter what's going on in the economy. Doesn't matter what the job outlook is. These are essential in all of our lives, whether you're residential or you're a business. Now, we have an overriding opportunity where, let's say that you decided to invite some people together. And just to give you a little background on myself, as I was acquiring customers, people were asking me questions. Well, what happens when I get an AT&T bill? I said, look, when you get an AT&T bill, they send me a direct deposit. People were like, well, how does that work? I said, look, I'm brand new. I don't want to explain something that I'm new at. And I invited them to come meet an expert like you're doing tonight. Now, anybody you invite on your team, you get paid an overriding customer bonus. That means when they get customers, they get a bonus, but you get a bonus. That bonus can be anywhere from $50 to all the way to $450 when somebody in your team goes out and gets a couple customers, and then you get tied into their customer with a 4% residual. Now imagine making 4% every month on a customer that somebody else went out and got. A customer you don't know, in a city you don't live, or country you never visited. Now, just to give you an idea, we have earned positions. Along with those earned positions, you get increased bonuses. You get an incentive trip. I've been able to go all over the world because ACN allows us to qualify for these trips. And you can get increased residual income at our top positions of regional vice president, senior vice president, and now platinum senior vice president. Well, heck, you heard enough from me already tonight, but let me introduce you to some people that have done incredibly well, that are having success, that are making residual income, and just to get a chance to hear their background and what's happened for them since jumping aboard the ACN opportunity. The first individual, Robert Faison. And Robert, thank you for joining us here tonight. And I know you've got a powerful story. He's a regional vice president. You just hit the position, having tons and tons of success. Robert, I'd love to turn the call over to you.
Well, thank you, Patrick. An awesome job, and thank you for having me on tonight. My background's actually dairy farming. I'm from a small town of 150 people here in Arkansas, and a couple of these Arkansas tornadoes helped me out of the dairy business years ago, and it was a blessing in disguise. But I was introduced to home-based business, and we was introduced to ACN a little less than a year ago, and we just followed the duplicatable system, introducing it to people, asking them to be on our team. If they didn't want to be, ask them to be our customer. And fast forward, we're now regional vice president. We literally got thousands of team members and thousands of customers that we get paid a true residual income on. And we're just excited about creating not only wealth for ourselves today, but generational wealth since you can hand this business down. And we're just fired up about 2023. It's going to be big.
And Robert, welcome to the family. A year into this thing, I think it's probably been a year over the last couple of days. You heard what he said. He has thousands of customers in the last 12 months. You can see the big smile on Robert's face. How many of us would understand why? If you had thousands of customers paying a bill, how many of you just sleep a little better at night knowing that they were going to pay that bill regardless of what you and I did? And look, this is not just in the United States. Today, we've got a senior vice president, Franco LaFranco, an incredible leader, watched him grow in this opportunity to one of the biggest names in the company itself. And Franco, thank you for joining us here this evening, and love to hear your story if you don't mind sharing it.
Yeah, thanks, Patrick, and I appreciate your leadership and your coaching and your guidance, and you're an amazing leader. And thank you for everything that you do for everybody and helping everybody out. That's a true leader. And guys, I was a traditional business owner working my butt off, 100-hour weeks, building companies. And I always thought to myself, there's got to be a better way to make money. This is insane, having employees, an office, accounts payable. Because can we all agree we all want to make money? But can we all agree we also want to enjoy our life at the same time? So one of my best friends introduced me to this opportunity. And all he was saying to me on the phone is, we can have time and money together. Time and money together. He was so excited. Anyway, I saw the opportunity. I saw an opportunity to get paid on essential services, on services people need to have every single day without the headache of employees, without the headache of capital expenditures. You heard the cost, $299 one time, and then $25 a month. What are you kidding me? And so I got started and I just followed the system. I did 3 meetings, invited some people to come see it. 30 people came to look at it. 6 of them got started, 14 became customers. And my business now over the last few years has grown, and we've acquired hundreds of thousands of customers over the years that pay a bill every single month without me having to have an office, without me having to have employees, and we get paid residual income, all thanks to the ACN system. So Patrick, this is an incredible opportunity, and now we get to change people's lives and make a difference. And that's what really is exciting about what we do now.
Wow, congratulations. How many of us see how relaxed Franco is, right? Big executive in ACN, doing incredibly well. And you can sort of see a theme happening here tonight, and that is individuals that wanted to go after something significant for themselves and their family. And look, Melissa, who opened up the call here tonight, an incredible leader. She's a regional vice president platinum. She's having incredible success with us. And Melissa, thank you for what you did so far tonight. But why don't you share your story? I know women are winning here at ACN, so I don't want you to think it's all about the guys. I know we got lots of ladies on here tonight, and why don't you share your perspective on and what's happened to you since getting involved?
Absolutely. And yes, women are winning in a very big way here with ACN. I am just so excited to be here tonight with all of you. So I've been a part of ACN now for just over 10 years. I was 22 years old when a friend of mine introduced me to this opportunity. And my background at that time was in the insurance industry. I sold home and auto insurance for a very big corporation that we all know here in the US. And, you know, I just really wanted another stream of income for my just in case. Like, I don't know if anybody here could relate to that, but I didn't have a backup plan. So ACN became my opportunity that I could build while still working a full-time job. I loved the flexibility behind that. And because there was so much support, you're going to see that this company just totally loves on you. There's so much support, so much available trainings that you can plug into. You'll never feel like you're doing this alone. And that was very important to me. And fast forward today, our team, our organization collectively have gathered thousands of customers that pay a bill every month. And it really is because of this incredible company that we're all blessed to be a part of. So I appreciate you letting me share, Mr. Mazer, and I'll turn it back to you.
Wow, what a great testimonial. And I just love the fact that a plan B turned into a plan A. How many of you wouldn't mind that happening? How many of you wouldn't mind to start something on the side that over time gave you some choices, just like it did Melissa? And that's not happened just for her. It's happened for thousands and thousands around the world. And now we're fortunate here tonight. We have our very first platinum senior vice president here with us. And he's no stranger to success. He has decades of experience of building teams and getting customers, and somebody that I really enjoy listening to. And you're going to hear his story, and it's an incredible one. If you don't mind just putting your virtual hands together for our very own platinum senior vice president, Presley Swaggerty, everybody.
Well, thanks, Patrick. And the decades of success, I think, was your nice way of saying I'm old, but that's all right. I love Patrick, my gosh, Robert, and everybody else, Franco and Melissa. It is a pleasure to be sharing the screen with you guys. I will be brief, but I'll tell you, I'm a high school basketball coach and algebra teacher by trade. I coached for 16 years at Lakeview High School in Garland, loved it, did it with a passion, sponsored the Fellowship of Christian Athletes, felt like I helped some kids, but never made much money. I'm sure if you're an educator or if you know an educator, you can relate to that. I was trying to figure out what I was going to do, and a friend of mine showed me this business. I didn't understand it, but I just kept thinking, gee, essential services and residual income. I love that. So I decided to give it a shot. I got in with a goal to make $1,000. Took me a while, but I finally got a check with a comma, and I was all pumped up. But I used to go to church with a man named Zig Ziglar, and Zig would always say, go as far as you can see, and when you get there, you're going to be able to see further. And Zig was right. You know, guys, when we got it to 1,000, we just set our sights a little farther and kept working. I tell people today that mine and Jeannie's reality is better than our dreams used to be. And it's not because I'm anything special or Jeannie's anything special. It's because we're with an amazing company with some other amazing leaders. And Melissa said it right. You're not going to be in business by yourself, guys. We will be there to help you. And if you'll watch, guys, 2023 is going to be the most amazing year that we have ever seen individually and company-wide. But it'll only benefit you if you get in gear and get out there and start sharing this opportunity with people. Guys, I'm excited about it. I challenge all you guests, make a decision tonight. You want to change your life, and let's get this thing going. Patrick, I'll pass it back to you. Thanks for having me on, brother.
Hey, Presley, appreciate you and love your story, and congratulations with your success. But I love what you said. This is going to be an epic, historical year, not only personally and professionally, but as a company. You know, we're an overnight 30-year success story. And you know why I tell you that is because we've got services today that we didn't have 30 years ago. We've got talent and leadership today that we didn't have 30 years ago. We got this technology today. How many of us would agree that no longer where you live matters? That you can send a link out, put somebody on a Zoom, make a friend across the street or across the country, around the world with this technology. And here's the best part of it all. We're going to help you do it. We're going to hold you by the hand, walk with you until you get to a point where you're happy, or maybe you want to just run to the top of the compensation plan, like I know some of you on here tonight are probably thinking to yourself. And look, if you're like me or anybody on here that you heard speak, you're probably thinking, what do I need to do to get started? Well, guess what? It's incredibly simple to do, and walk you through a simple program. Number one, ACN generously put a bonus on the table. If you can go out with you and your team and hit a position called ETL, it stands for Executive Team Leader, you get a $500 bonus just for doing it. And we're going to help you do it. So just know that even if you're in a situation like I was 20 plus years ago, where, you know, $299 was still a little bit of money for me back then, but I was able to do what we're doing tonight and hit some of these bonuses and be in profit literally in my first 30 days. But I was creating something. I was creating a residual income for my family. And I know you here this evening are here because you want to do something for your family as well. And we're going to help you do it. And so there's just a couple things any of us have to do. Number one, we've got trainings online. and you can plug into as many trainings as you want. You're also joining a team. And the team is going to have trainings. We have in-person trainings. We have online trainings. Matter of fact, on January 20th and 21st, we're going to be in Costa Mesa, California for an incredible training that you're going to learn all that you need to learn when it comes to what we're doing here this evening. And you're in business for yourself, but you're never in business by yourself. And that's something that I know all of us appreciate, that we're going to have the coaching and the mentorship and the help. See, it doesn't matter what your background is, doesn't matter what your educational level is. All that matters is you have a reason to do what we're doing here tonight. And for me, it was my family. And I'm sure some of you can relate, you know, parents that were getting older, unprepared for retirement. How many of you can relate to that? Right? You know, they gave a lot to their kids, and by the time they got to their, you know, their golden years, there really wasn't much left. And ACN came in. How many of us would agree? Prayers go up and blessings come down. And the next thing you know, I'm at an ACN meeting, and I thought, man, wouldn't it be great to make some money to help the people that I loved? And we were able to accomplish that goal. And now our job is to help other people do that same thing. And so if this feels right to you, jump aboard. Welcome to the family. Let me be the first one to congratulate you on making that business decision. And let's go out and create a legacy for our family here in 2023. And now I'd like to bring an individual up that's a senior vice president. This individual is one of the best trainers that I've ever had the good fortune of getting to hear. And if you got a notebook or pen or something close by, you definitely want to take some notes, because every time he speaks, great information comes out of his mouth. He is one of our top producing senior vice president. If you don't mind, just put your hands or virtual hands together for our very own senior vice president, Mr. James Adlam. James, the call is all yours.
Thank you so very much, Mr. Patrick Mazur. I appreciate you. And man, as I'm listening to this presentation, I've known Mr. Mazur now for, you know, probably almost a couple of decades at this point. And every time I hear him deliver the information, it's like the first time I heard him in Philadelphia deliver the information. I mean, you just heard this business showcase on the most world-class professional presentation you possibly could. And for all the people that spoke, I just want to say thank you, because I was listening to your stories, and I'm thinking about what I'd be thinking if I were a guest, and I would be out of my brain cells right now, because I'd be ready. I'd just be ready. That's how I was when I saw this company over 2 decades ago. My name is James. My background is I used to work in the pharmaceutical industry. I worked for a couple of pharmaceutical companies as a pharmaceutical representative. This company's been a part of my life for over 2 decades, and I'm just so grateful. And, you know, everyone said the same thing different, but this is going to be the single greatest year we've ever had. I mean, I don't know if you feel it right now, but I'm feeling, and if you're not feeling, you need to pinch yourself and ask yourself, why have you lost feeling? Because it's just happening. The things that we're doing and the level that this company's playing on is unprecedented. And we have so many events that are going to be absolutely best in class. I need to hear you. I need to hear me say that again. We don't just do events. The events that we do are best in class, because here's what we feel. We feel that if you're willing to take your time to come out and invest with us, we want to give you insane value and give you exactly what you need to be successful. So this is 3-0, everybody. This is year number 30. This is the year, this is 30 years in business. And what that means is that all of the startup phase, that's not there. Now we're in the driving momentum legacy development phase, and you have the opportunity to start your business with a company that has a 30-year track record of being unstoppable. Because here's the reality. How many of you know some companies that they, you know, guess what? Give you a name for those of you that are on here that, you know, are seasoned. You ever heard the name MCI? Does that name sound familiar? When we got started, they were around. Yeah, we're here. You see, what this company's been able to do is put the right people in place, identify the right leadership, form the right partnerships, and now on a global scale is impacting people. And so I want to give you a heads up on some of these very special events. Congratulations. If you're on here right now and you are a regional vice president, I cannot wait to see you in Charlotte. I cannot wait for those of you that hit RVP and above. Now, why is this important? For all of you that are guests on here, the company is taking on leaders that are in the top 1% of the company to give them insights, training, understanding on where the future of this company is going in the next 5, 10, 15, 20 years, and how they can all take this opportunity and turn it into not just an incredible opportunity for themselves, but people literally around the world. So for all of you, I know there are people on here that ran for it. Congratulations to all the new regional vice presidents for qualifying. On January 16th, by the time you leave that event, you're gonna be on such a completely different level of your understanding of this company. But then we have these amazing leadership certification conferences. Now, what is this about? I remember the very first time I heard that I had an opportunity, I qualified for a leadership certification conference. For all of you that qualified, you received those letters in the mail. Congratulations to all the regional directors that qualified to be able to participate in that. And I remember driving down from Pennsylvania to Charlotte for my leadership certification. And I had a roommate and we were there. We were so excited. I remember I could barely sleep because I was going to learn hands-on on how to really take this company to the next level. And by the way, I was in pharmaceuticals. The CEO and president of the company never took the time to meet with me. The fact that you're going to be trained by the founders, the co-founders of this company are going to be training at both of those events. In pharma, I never saw the CEO. I saw the picture of him on the website, but that was it. So for all of you that qualify for leadership, let me tell you something. If you receive that email to be there, because what you're going to gain at that event is by far and away training that's going to enhance your understanding on what you really have. Because I don't think most people join our business really understand what they really have. And that's why in-person events are so powerful. Like the Emerge event coming up in Costa Mesa. Look, hey, guess what? I live in Maryland. Let me just pause here for 1 second. I live in Maryland. We had this thing called a bomb cyclone that hit. I don't know if anybody had that thing where all of a sudden it went like 30 degrees to 4. And I'm sitting there thinking to myself, this is craziness. But we're in the energy business, so it wasn't that bad. But here's my point. I could be on the East Coast and freeze, or I can get myself to California, to Costa Mesa, to the Emerge event. We're in a 24-hour window turnaround. Like whether you fly in, fly out, fly in, stay till Sunday, whatever that is, you're gonna have an opportunity to be in the heart of listening to the top regional and senior vice presidents and now SVP Platinum in our company. These are people that have saw the same information you saw, built the same business that you're building, and they decided to really treat it like a business. And because of that, I promise you that the information they're going to give you is relevant. I listened to this podcast the other day, and this football coach said something really powerful. They said, you've been coaching for 30 years. Why? He said, because I want to stay relevant. And I just thought about this. It just makes so much sense. You're going to have decades worth of experience teaching you in that 24-hour window of time how to build a business inside of this company from the top 1% of this company, pouring into everything that they know on how to do it. So someone said, well, I live in Maryland. Okay, yeah, thanks. And there's a plane that flies. It flies. It didn't say it's going to be on Saturn. It's in Costa Mesa, California. You can get to Costa Mesa. And what you're going to gain from that day is absolutely incredible. And I'm going to be in Costa Mesa. And guess what? I'm also going to turn around and be hanging out with Mr. Presley down in Texas. Because in March 10th through 11th, we have our international training event. There are literally people coming in from all across the world to that event. Those last two events, the last event we had, there were people that flew in from France, people that flew in from Europe, from England, from Korea. People flew in from Korea to go to these events. Why? Because if you understand the value, distance does not matter. And these people understood the value that there was information that they could gain. And so if you're on this Zoom right now, I just gave you a list of the events for the people that have already proven themselves. The RVPs, congratulations and above, RVPs and above. For the regional director leaders, which is another position in our company, congratulations for the leadership certification. But let me tell you something. If you're on this Zoom and the vast majority of you are not at those positions, that's why these events are so important, because they teach you everything you need to learn on how to go to those levels in the company. Elevate down in Dallas, Fort Worth, March 10th and 11th. All I know is this, the world's going to come together for this event, and we want to see you there. So for all the people that took their time to put this event together tonight, we want to say thank you. You want to use your cell phones, you can hold the QR code, you can go to our website, the person invited you on will send you a direct link to be able to register for these events. Here's what I know. You will be blessed for it. And so on behalf of all the leaders that took their time to come together, for all the guests that are on here tonight, thank you for trusting the person who invited you on to see what we're doing. For all of you, I just want to just say this on behalf of the company and all the leadership. This is going to be the best year ever. It's going to be so much better when you join us. I'm telling you, hey, guess what I saw on the news today? Like, I don't like the news, but every now and then it pops up on my news feed. And they were like, bad news, bad news, bad news, bad news, bad news. Let me summarize the news. Bad news, bad news, bad news, bad news. And here's what I thought to myself. How great is it that in this desert of bad news, every time you turn the news, it's bad news. We have this oasis that is ACN. And it's not bad news. It's the best news ever, because we're going to have one of the best years ever and want you to be a part of it. So on behalf of everyone, thank you so very much for being on the Zoom with us. Please connect with the person who invited you on after the Zoom is done. Hop on a Zoom with them, a private Zoom with them right after this event. And if you see the opportunity to run with them, let them help you get started. We look forward to seeing our upcoming events. God bless you and your families. 2023, Happy New Year to you and your families. Be safe, be productive, and make this your best year ever. Thank you, everybody. Have a great, great night.